I hadn't added myself to the stream. Hello, Facebookers. Okay, I think they can see me now. Thank you guys so much for joining. Okay, so now let's just jump into it. The hottest, most sizzling form filing tips for your U.S. immigration application. Again, as I told you guys yesterday, there's a method to doing everything. So you need to make sure that if you're filing your immigration application, you are doing the right things in order for you to be able to, secure an approval, right? For some reason, I'm not able to share my screen on Facebook. I was hoping I could share it directly, but it's not coming up. So maybe we might have to just get started without that. That's strange. I'm not sure why. Okay, right here. Perfect. Okay, found it. Alrighty. So we're just about to begin and dive in a second. Okay, so we did part 1 on Monday. So if you're looking for that video, don't forget, you can always find it on our YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Instagram, all our social media channels. Okay. So in preparing your packet, your U.S. immigration packet, guys, remember that if you're filing any type of immigration benefit, you normally would have to file an application, right? An affirmative application to USCIS, which is United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. That's the federal agency that adjudicates immigration applications. So when you are filing your application, there are things that you have to note, there are things that you have to do in order to increase your chances and give you the maximum, make sure that you have a good reason, or you make it easier for the adjudicator to just grant you an approval. So here are certain things that you have to do when you are prepared. We did the part 1 on Monday, so this is the part 2. When you are preparing your packet, you have to remember some things. The first thing is that U.S. Immigration doesn't want you to use binders or folders that they cannot easily disassemble, right? So don't go using the thickest rope from your village and then it's all tied up, all your documents are bundled up and they're trying to pull out even a birth certificate and it becomes difficult. Don't go using heavy metals that will scrape somebody's fingers. All these are things that you mustn't do. You must make sure that your documents are easy to disassemble and assemble. Don't use things that are just very difficult to manipulate and handle. Okay, that makes you annoying and already your case is like, okay, blacklisted. You don't want that on your documents. Okay, let me wave some more people. Guys, drop your comments, concerns, and hopefully I will be reading questions and comments soon. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that you can't use fasteners to hold together thick or bulky applications. So I have some fasteners in my office, but it's out of reach. I would have showed you guys what a fastener looks like. You will perforate, make sure they're in the same, you're perforating the same space, and then you can use the fasteners that will hold the thick. We usually do this for court filings and, very bulky applications like VAWAs and, things, RFEs where they need a lot of evidence, and NOITs where they need a lot of evidence. Okay, you will use fasteners and then you hold together very bulky and thick applications because it just helps your application to look very presentable. We have the factory style perforator right here, so we're able to perforate like 100, 200 pages at once, and that helps. If you just have the home size perforator, you realize that by the time you're done perforating your documents, the holes are in different portions, and so fastening it becomes really messy. You don't want that. You need to have a really nice presentation. Okay, and then it says that 2-hole punching the top of the material for easy placement in the file is appreciated. Exactly, this is one of the things. You need to make sure you 2-hole punch very nicely. It's well aligned. Okay, the next thing is that sticky tabs are also very helpful in locating items that are listed as attachments. Okay, for easy filing, place the tabs on the bottom of the page, not the side. So for the sticky tabs, they want you to place the sticky tabs on the bottom of the page. So if you have pictures, you put it there. If you have bank statements, you tab bank statement. If you have affidavit, whatever, passport pictures, you tab it. A marriage certificate, you tab it, and it should be in order. And normally we put a cover letter that has listed all your documents in order, and so the tab will go according to that order to make it very easy for them to locate your items. The other thing is, don't use heavy duty staples. Instead, they want you to use the fasteners or heavy clips. The clips that you just open and close instead of the staples, because remember, they have to take apart all the documents, and if they're heavy staples, they have to try to open it and pull out the documents. That's very quite excruciating and difficult to do. Okay, so be careful with that. And then do not submit originals unless you're specifically required. For some applications, U.S. Immigration will request you guys to submit originals. If U.S. Immigration actually requests you to submit originals, then they will automatically return those original documents back to you. However, if you are not requested to submit originals, just try to make sure you don't submit it, because once you do, you're not getting them back. If you want your originals back, you will have to file a form known as the G884 to request your original documents. Okay. So don't submit originals unless you're specifically required to submit them. And then the next thing is, do not submit oversized documentation unless it's necessary. Of course, don't go printing 50 years of your bank statement and it's so heavy and unreasonable. Just try to submit. That's why the standard is always relevant, probative, and credible evidence. So no oversized documentations. No oversized documentation. Don't submit things that just makes it impossible for your files to be reviewed. And then again, send single-sided copies of your supporting documentation. I believe we talked about this the last time. It should be page 1, page 2, page 3. Don't do page 1 and page 2 on the same sheet. It should be single-sided presentation. If you're sending more than one case in an envelope, so for example, you're filing a renewal of a green card for your children, try to separate it. Make sure they're clearly separated by rubber bands. They are thick rubber bands you put around each application so that you pull up and you can see this is a distinct and separate application. That's a distinct. Don't mix things up with different A numbers or, for different beneficiaries. Okay, guys, I know I told you guys this was a very quick and short live. I think we've covered what we need to cover. Let me see if I have more things to discuss with you, and then we will call it a day. Hold on. Yeah, I think we're done. I have a couple more lines to discuss. Okay, so right here, if you're we talked about that. And if you're resubmitting, yes, guys, this is really important. If you're resubmitting the packet and it's in response to something known as a request for evidence, that's an RFE, or a NOID or whatever, you need to make sure that, or a NOIR, notice of intent to revoke, notice of intent to deny, you need to make sure that the original notice that is requesting the additional evidence or the information is on the top of the packet. And they sometimes will want you to use the special mailing envelope provided, but sometimes that special mailing envelope is just really small that it will not contain all the documents that you're submitting. So, you need to make that decision if you want to use that or not, but they want you to use the special mailing envelope. But sometimes it's just not practical, right? Okay, and if you're submitting evidence in support of a previously filed appeal or motion, place a cover letter with you write brief for appeal or motion, and it's on top of the packet. Okay, so guys, that's your hottest, most sizzling U.S. immigration form filing tips. I hope you guys have benefited from this video. Yesterday, let me talk about that. Yesterday was, the date 2/22/22, and we launched our second ebook, guys. We launched our second ebook. It's known as Green Card or Red Flag. It's a very exciting and very interesting read. So make sure you grab your free copy. You can I believe I shared the link to how to download the free ebook on all our social media platforms. On Instagram, just click on the link in bio. on Facebook, just subscribe to our newsletter. Once you do, you'll get an email and you'll have the link to download the book in your email automatically. Okay, so guys, make sure you download your free ebook. The first ebook is How to Win Your U.S. Immigration Interview Every Time. That's also for free on our website, akpokulaw.com. Download that as well. Once you're done reading them, be sure to share feedback with us, and we'll be really, really happy to hear back from you concerning that. So guys, make sure you download your free ebooks on U.S. immigration. Send the links to the how to download the books to your friends and family. One thing I tell people is that sometimes clients come and see me and they're like, look, lawyer, people don't even know I'm undocumented, I don't have papers, I'm battling with immigration issues, because this is not something that you discuss with everyone, but somebody may need this, and it's free resource. So please share to your family and friends. Some people also tell me, oh, people think I'm a U.S. citizen, but I'm undocumented. You will be surprised. Somebody you think is a U.S. citizen may not be a U.S. citizen after all. So be sure to share our videos and our free resources. We're all about helping the immigrant community out here in the United States. So please help us to make life easier for other immigrants and for everybody. Okay, guys, so this was, I hope this was insightful. I will call it a day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.